Okay.
पापा देखिए जूम मीटिंग ज्वाइन कर रहा था लेकिन इसमें मैसेज आ रहा है बाय स्टेइंग इन दिस मीटिंग यू कंसेंट टू बीइंग लाइव स्ट्रीम एनीवन विद एक्सेस टू द लाइव स्ट्रीम कैन वॉच और शेयर विद अदर्स। इसका क्या मतलब है?
in like 2 minutes.
तो
Okay, I'll come to your view.
मेरी शक्ल तो नहीं दिखेगी ना?
Okay. We are live streaming now. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here and being part of this webinar. And the topic is, do influencers influence? Okay. And we all are on social media, and we all browse Facebook and Twitter and Insta and LinkedIn and so many others. And in almost every social media today, we have we have so many influencers, pacers, etc., posting about so many things. And the question really is that, from an event organizer perspective, from a runner perspective, does this really yield any results? Is it meaningful? I mean, does it work? Okay. Karke kya faida hai? Kind of thing. Okay. So that was the question. And then these questions came to us about some years back, and we devised solutions to answer this question. And we thought that, we should present these findings of ours. And both influencers and event organizers must understand what is meaningful, what is not meaningful, because even the quality of our own feed sometimes is very, very poor, because you have only your friends posting about running events. I'm an ambassador here, I'm a pacer here, I'm selling this product, I'm buying this shoe, all these kind of things are coming all the time. So we are not interacting as people, as as human beings, as runners, as athletes, as moms or friends, or husbands, or whatever else, so which is the purpose of social media. So we felt that we should do something and answer this question and have a discussion around that. So the title is, do influencers influence? And I thank everybody for being here. The format is that I've muted all of you, because I just want to run through this. We started at about 7:58. So I'll take about 15, 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes maximum. I will not take too long. And after that, everybody can unmute. And if there are questions, definitely. If you are on video, it's being live streamed on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you are watching it on those social media platforms, you can definitely text there, and that video will come to me. If you're on the Zoom call with me, of course, you can chat, and I'll take up all of them together in the end. Okay. So that way, there is a continuity in what I'm saying. So off we go. So what am I going to show today? High level overview, current state of the social media. I'm not going into too much depth. Running industry, what is happening, how we measure, how does YouTooCanRun measure the effectiveness, one sample event metric just for you all to see, some success stories, then how to build from an event registration, event organizer point of view, how to build the pipeline and how to grow your event, while using the tactics in a meaningful manner. And lastly, for influencers, some observations of mine, and what you should do as an influencer. Okay. So that is the overall view of the presentation. Just a couple of slides, not too much. Okay. Overview. It's a 12 billion Indian rupee market, the influencer marketing. It has grown huge. Today, what has happened is that social media, all of us are there. It has put all the editing tools and video tools in your phone. So in your phone, you can take a video, you can edit the video, you can add special effects, you can add music. And I mean, now everybody who's an influencer knows all this. and many of them have crews to do this. And because of that, and because of the content that is continuously being created and we are consuming, it's become a 12 billion market. And in about 3-4 years, it is expected to be 28 billion rupees. So it's a huge number. Okay. Nearly 55 million urban Indians are direct consumers. So about 2 years back, the amount of screens on the phone increased the number of TV screens. The number of screens that we're holding in our hands. For example, I have two phones. Okay, I've got two screens. Okay, I have of course got a laptop, and then I've got a television at home. But the amount of screens that are there in laptop and in phones increased exceeded the number of screens that are there on television. So that is why today, if you see the IPL, the digital market bid was more than the television broadcasting rights. If you see the sponsorship, because more people are consuming it on the phone, and I know so many people who are sitting here there and watching IPL, whereas at one time people used to sit in front of the TV and watch it. Okay, so this is where the digital thing is going. On the basis of the following counts, marketing agencies. So what are nano? 1,000 to 10,000 is nano. Micro is 10,000 to 1 lakh. Macro is 1 lakh and above 1 million, that is 10 lakhs. It is called a mega influencer. So this is how the marketing agencies are bifurcated, and slowly we are getting regulations. Because it's becoming wide and because it's kind of thing, and a lot of undesirable things are happening. The Advertising Standards Council of India has started putting regulations. Now it has become law. We did an event about 1.5 or 2 years back with the first draft came out, and now it has become law. And we intend to do one more, so that the influencers who kind of count on us for guidance do not do things wrong. I mean, they should not do things wrong that are legal and which are regulatory mistakes. So this kind of scene gives you an idea of what of influencer market. So there is a singer, 2015 started with Mule. She produces 20 to 40 videos a month. She works by herself, and she gets 2,000 to 3,000 rupees per video. Okay. This is a beauty skincare influencer. Started in 2014 with her own blogs. Now she does 20 to 30 videos and has a production team, and she gets 65,000 to 75,000 per video. Okay. She has got 1.1 million on Takatak and 874K on Instagram. The entertainer started with TikTok, 27 exclusive videos. So many of these agencies, they tie up with creators to do exclusive content for them. She does 27 there, then she does 2 or 3 videos on YouTube and Instagram. And YouTube, she has got one vlog every Sunday. She works with friends who help her do it, and she gets 80,000 to 1 lakh per video. Okay, so she's making 2 to 3 videos per day. So you can imagine what her income must be. There's a motivational speaker. 2020 started with YouTube. Now 2 to 3 videos. Has her own production team, and she has got a huge following on Instagram and on YouTube. Okay, so these are the kind of people who are in the business and who are doing this. And there's a huge amount of money to be made, no doubt about it. And it is easy money. I know of one influencer who I will not name now, but many of you may guess. He is making more money now than in the last 7 or 8 years when he was conducting events. Okay, so when he was conducting events, he was not making as much money as he's making now. So obviously he doesn't have the imperative or the incentive to do events again, even though the market has opened up. Easy money, right? So that is one thing. Then this kind of gives a high level view, about the money power behind it. So so this is based on a survey of 114 influencers who responded. This is an online site called Ken, which is a subscription based site, which I subscribe. So therefore they're very neutral in their content. So how much do influencers earn? So 41 of them, of the 114, were earning between 10,000 to 50,000 rupees per month. 19 were earning between 50 and 1 lakh. 21 were earning between 1 lakh and 5 lakh. 2 were earning above 5 lakhs. 9, of course, did not say. So, you can see that there's a huge amount of income. I mean, today, you may bust your ass, doing a doctorate or an engineering, or doing race management like me, but you're not going to earn this kind of money, So this is very easy money, and naturally, many people want to be influencers and are going there. Okay. Out of this, 64 of them were paid by brands. Four of them were paid money. Four of them had barter deals, like I give you a phone and you post for me. And 32 of them had both money and brand. Okay. Do you have another full-time job? 69 of the 114 did not have a full-time job. Okay. 31 had a job and they were doing this. Okay. So this is the survey of 114, just to give a sense of where the influencer market is going, and how people are earning. Okay. Now, what is the current state? Okay. Where are we? Okay. How does this influencer marketing affect us as consumers? Okay. On the left is a picture that I took one Sunday. And when I opened the newspaper, along with the newspaper, I got three leaflets. One from State Bank of India, one some other, food, and one from optician. So, many people who buy newspapers know that usme se keep on getting leaflets that fall out. Okay. What do you do with those leaflets? I mean, do you really look at each one of them, or do you look at them only if it interests you? Okay. Most of the time we don't look at them. Okay. So same thing is happening in social media. In according to a survey, the number of advertisements in the user's feed of a Facebook was 21%. Okay. Instagram 20, Twitter 14, LinkedIn, of course, is the least with 9.6. So one in every five is a sponsored post on a Facebook wall. Okay. Now that is sponsored, where people have paid money to boost that post. There are so many posts that are coming from your friends who got a shoe, who got a watch, who got some hydration, nutraceutical, who's a brand ambassador for an event. So if you take out all that, how many of the posts that you see on Facebook or on Insta are genuine messages that are helping you, or somebody's sharing his joy, or somebody's sharing his sorrow, or somebody's sharing his achievement, genuine achievement, kind of thing. It's becoming lesser and lesser. Okay. This does not include influencer posts from this. About 50 to 70% of the posts are commercially motivated. Okay. Here is a quick survey. Okay. All of you all are in front of your laptop or mobile. Go to your Facebook, go to your Instagram, look at the top 10, either stories or on the feed, and tell me how many are commercially motivated. Put it in the chat message. Okay. How many are commercially motivated? Means there is a business reason for that person to make that post. Okay. He is either a trainer or a coach or something. Okay. There is a business reason why that has got posted. Somebody's put a menu of the restaurant that is running, something. And how many are genuinely social? Okay. Do that exercise. You will come to the message yourself. And the question is that, do we have more media in social media? Are we having more media? Are we having more commercial content and less of the social content? Okay. So where is this percentage? And if that happens, then what is happening? People are becoming little bit blind to the commercial content. They're just skipping the commercial content. It's like a newspaper ad. How often do you read all the ads? You don't read the ads, right? Or tender, or matrimonial, or obituary, and then you just go ahead. Correct? You just look at the news and you just go ahead. Correct? So the question is that, is it losing its novelty value? Is it becoming stale? Is a question. Okay. So anyway, so if you want, I'll just give you all 2 minutes. Take out your social media, whichever one you are on, and you can just chat how much percentage, top 10, how many were commercially motivated. Okay. So that'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. So continuing to the next slide. In the running industry, okay, all this is true for all industries. Okay. Beauty, cosmetics, commercial products, fashion, में ये सब चलता है. Okay. All this is there. What is happening in the running industry? Okay. In the running industry, we call them influencers. Many of them call them influencers. Many of them call them pacers. Many of them are called brand ambassadors or event ambassadors. Some use the word KOLs, key opinion leaders. So, whatever term you use, these are the way in which these people are coming. Okay. Very often, the technical purpose of appointing a pacer is forgotten. Okay. However, appointing a brand ambassador is forgotten. Okay, you have a nice event, you have a nice athlete, he's your brand ambassador. It makes sense. Okay, is there a genuine reason to call him a brand ambassador? But today, anybody, I mean, there are events that say that join our brand ambassador program. You just have to go say yes. They will ask you a photo, make a creative, give you a coupon code. Or they don't even know who the damn guy is. They are appointing them as brand ambassadors and giving them coupon codes. So almost all of them are being made by running events into sales agents. They are being given coupon codes. Say use my code, get 40% discount. One event, and I will not name any this year. One event, the event has already started. I mean, it's a virtual event. Okay, the event has already started, and after 10 days, there are discount codes for that event. And that it was a 1 month long virtual challenge. And after 10 days, brand ambassadors are posting coupon codes for registering for that event. And out of that maybe 30 days virtual challenge, 10 days are over, only 20 days are left. And now where is the discount? Actually, it should be closed registration. But they are giving a coupon code, and our brand ambassadors are also posting it. So, sometimes when you look at it and when you look at such post, you feel, what the bloody hell is this? Is so funny kind of thing. Okay. One event, we saw the event is on Sunday. On Friday, there is a big boost and SMS and mail offering 40% discount for an on-ground event. And supposing you register on Friday, is a T-shirt there? Is the bib there? Is the medal made? I mean, what is the status? How do people organize events? I mean, you are taking registration on Friday. We stop registration for some of our events 1 month before or 2 months before, so that T-shirts and medals are correct. And this guy is just taking the money, and then tomorrow, if the event doesn't happen or he doesn't get his T-shirt, they'll tell him, "Oh, we'll courier it to you." So brand ambassadors are also being made part of this. So the question is that is this ethical for people to do? Okay, coming to influencers. Definitely, influencers, they increase the brand presence. You have an event to support influencers, they post about it, they post for photographs, all that happens. And then the event has been launched. Okay, brand presence is definitely that happens. There's a recognition of the event. Okay. Oh, this event is there, and oh, okay, it's done by so and so. There's a recognition. Awareness definitely increases. But does it lead to a sales closure? Does it lead to registration? Does it lead to increasing the numbers for the event organizer? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. So that is where it is. Okay. What do we do in YouTooCanRun? How do we measure effectiveness? How do we, look at, things, and how do we, ensure that this has happened correctly? Okay. So for example, here we have what we do. What we do is we do the creatives, we have the technology, and we have the marketing under one stop. Okay, so everything is under one roof. Every single creative that we do, we have a different, what is known as an UTM code. So what this means is that influencer A will get one QR code, which will be different from influencer B. And if somebody says, I want to put up a poster in my club, then that will be a different QR code. So anybody who scans that QR code or uses that QR code and comes and register, we will know every single registration from where it came. Whether it came from an email that we sent out, whether it came from a WhatsApp message that we sent out, whether it came from influencer A or B or C, we will know everything. Okay. So like this, and we are able to measure this. We use Google Analytics and we build a dashboard on the back, and our event organizers can see it in their app also. They can see it, of course, on the desktop, and they can see it on the this. So you can see here that, this is for one event, Indian Navy Mumbai Heritage Run dashboard. So 2,809 came from YouTooCanRun social media, and then all the other places from where the registration came. Okay, we did not use social media influencers for the heritage run. Okay, and also for the main event. Okay, the other one which is there on the phone, you can see that there was a Brookska messaging that came 6, and then there was a mailer that we sent out, and you can see how we got different different sources, how they came and how the registrations happened. Okay, so this is how we measure on the back end to see if it was technically correct. Okay. The question now comes is that how does the registration pipeline get built up? Okay. You're an event organizer. You want to know how do you build up the pipeline. You want to know kya karne ka. Okay. If influencer marketing is not working, if people are just scrolling, what to do? Okay. How do you announce an event? Okay. The first thing that we have to remember is that the product sells. Okay. It is an event. It is a product. The product has to have good features. It has to have good branding. People have to know that the product is going to be a good product. The product sells. Events that have got sellout, Ladakh, Satara, or Procam events don't need all this. DRHM or good events don't need all this tamasha because the product sells. Okay, the product is good. A running event is not an impulsive purchase. Fashion, beauty, cosmetics, entertainment, going to a movie are impulsive. They're a little bit chalo, le leta, kind of thing. If you can afford it, you just go and buy it. Whereas a running event registration is not an impulsive purchase because the runner is invested in the event in the sense that he's training for it. He has to go at 5:30 in the morning. He has to actually run himself. He should get water. The t-shirt should be good. There should be toilets. The experience is important. So the runner is a little bit more choosy about registering for events. And just because some post has come, he is not going to convert and register for that event. Okay. The company also, the company the event keeps. What is the vendor network? Who are the people associated with this event? Is also very important. Okay, that is also very important, and that kind of builds up the credibility of the event. And of course, lastly, MRR now has got a rating, and based on that rating, people do go by that rating. Okay, yeah, somebody should be muted. I don't know who's that, but. So those are the kind of factors that we believe builds a registration pipeline. Okay. Now here is a virtual event that we conducted, and top 5 influencers based on region received to them are this person has 105 Instagram followers, but he got 50 because he went to his company and he told his employers and his employers did it. Okay, but that is an exception. But somebody with 319 followers on Instagram got only 12. Somebody with 1475 followers on Instagram got only 10. Somebody with 363 got 8, and somebody with 1273 got 6. Okay. There on the right side, these are the Instagram followers. Somebody with 3770 got nothing. All these people got 0. 5425 got nothing. Okay. So even though there are so many followers, nobody listened to them. Nobody influenced them. They were not influenced. They were not like, oh, ye kar raha hai, ye bola hai ki karne ka, so I have to do it. So this is the this is a internal statistics of our own event, and because of this, we know what happens, we know what sells, we know how the market moves, we know bazaar mein kya bikta hai and how to take it to the market. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we do that are not on ground. Okay, now many people ask us, okay, without any influencer marketing, have you done an event? The answer is yes. Both the Navy events and the main event for the last 4 years from the year 2016, you must not have seen one single influencer, one single pacer. We have made appointed pacers, which are from the Navy, but none of them have been posted on all the social media handles. They have been posted only on the Facebook page and Facebook group of the event. There we have posted it. We have not posted it on all the running groups that are there. Okay, but even then, only because of the branding of the event and Navy and whatever, in the first year it was 4,500, about 10,000 in the second year, and the next 2 years you have to close registrations at 15,000. Okay, so this is a proof that without social media also you can sell an event if you do it well, and which I think is the best way to do it. Okay, So this is an example of the other extreme. Without any influencer marketing, we have got registration for an event. Okay. Some Facebook posts from international race directors. Again, it kind of reiterates the fact that event organizers cannot hope that only by making social media posts all the time and Facebook and event and this and that, you will keep getting registrations. Usse nahi hota hai. Okay. So here is something from in a race directors forum. Here are two posts. Tony Sapp says we stopped offering free entries to elite athletes and influencers because we weren't seeing much of an impact on the registration numbers. What we have opted to do instead is to allow everyone to be an influencer by offering refunds on the registration fees through a referral program. So here in this event, if you get 5 or 10 registrations, then you get your race free. So basically, it's like multi-level marketing, like Ambio or something. So that is what they are doing. Okay. Fred Newton, mixed bag for me on this. I paid £500 plus entry fee per race for an influencer last year. They had a following of 50K and produced some nice content. Means they made videos and everything, but there was no uplift for in sales. So not a success story. So even somebody who has 50,000 followers and built their own videos, they were not their followers were not influenced. Because it's like this, that supposing Amitabh Bachchan comes and says, I use cello pen. How many of us are going to go and buy cello pen or any other pen? We are just looking at Amitabh, we are okay, we appreciate him as a person, but we are not influenced by his choice of the pen. Okay. So it's running events are becoming a little bit like that. Okay. Last question, that is for the event organizers. Last is for influencers. Are you diluting your social equity? This is a question, I see so many people becoming pacers, brand ambassadors, event ambassadors in every single event. Sometimes they don't put their name, sometimes they don't put their this. You have got friends, right? I mean, you are on social media, you are a husband, wife, you are a colleague, you are a businessman, you have a job somewhere, you have got schoolmates, you have got classmates, you have got your, cousins. Now, all this is your social network, correct? And all the time you are posting about, I am a brand ambassador in this event, I'm a brand ambassador in that event, I'm a pacer here, I'm a this, there. I mean, are people going to follow you? I mean, are people going to really be interested? In the beginning, yes, they will be interested, definitely, But over a period of time, you do it for 1 year, you do it for 2 years, you do it for 3 years. At some point of time, what are they going to do? They may even unfollow you. Okay. That is my view. Second is that quantity versus quality. Where do you draw the line? Do you go for quantity and keep on posting, this and that, and keep on taking all kinds of events? Because jo bikta hai, jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai, correct? So you want to be in the top all the time by posting something. Okay, the algorithm can be a bitch, kind of sometimes. Or do you go for quality? And that's again your choice. Okay, then ultimately you have got an audience, and whatever you're posting, does it resonate with your audience? I mean, supposing tomorrow I came up with some lipstick or cosmetics or some, youth ka jeans. I mean, it will not resonate with my audience because my audience is my age and the kind of person that I am. Correct. So you cannot suddenly take something and start pushing it into this. So ultimately, I like to end this question: do you want to be Rakhi or Rakhi? Okay, and I'll allow everybody to unmute and people can answer questions, ask me questions, and where is the unmute? Okay, you all can unmute, you all can join me, you all can tell me which Rakhi you want to be. Shilpa, you're breaking up all the time. Shilpa.
Yes, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I have a question. So the influencers. So I mean, how do they go about like promoting an event? I mean, little bit of Kameshwari also put some pointers in the chat, but still I wanted
come to
to
that.
just know your opinion. Yeah.
I'll come to that. So my question now here is that, do you want to be Rakhi with a KHI, or do you want to be Rakhi with KHEE? I'll answer that question. Okay.
Yeah. What is the difference between both the Rakhees?
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So does anybody else who have an answer for this, or does anybody else want to say anything about this?
Hi, Venki. I would like to kind of
Hi,
add
hi,
something.
hi, Jen, hi.
I will just, I think I know most of the participants here, and some of them are super influencers, and most of them I look up to, and I'm very happy to be in the same room with them. We are talking about whether we want to be Rakhi or Rakhi. Now, every brand knows with its influencers what are they trying to achieve. One is a brand perception. So even though I don't get the sales, but people are aware that I exist because there are 20,000 people posting about me, right? Now, I'm also a runner. My husband is a runner, and we've had a long journey together. I've run 16 marathons myself, half marathons, and my husband is a triathlete and 3 hour sub 3, a full marathon runner and a Ironman as well. So what's important for me? So while we're talking about influencer, we should also look at influencee. As an influencee, there's a lot of onus on me to whom I'm listening to, for what reasons. For me, today we have to select a race for Sandesh. We will look at the elevation, we'll look at the course, we'll look at the weather, we'll look at the region, we will look at the elite runners, we will look at the race director's profile, all of that, and select that for Sandesh. But if I just want to run, if I just want to go and experience something, I'm not going to look at all of these things. For me, at that point, a nano influencer who has anywhere between 3 to 5,000 followers, who's saying that, okay, I'm running this, are you running this, is okay, because otherwise I would not want to listen to any expert opinions from them. You know what I mean? Because they don't have the degree and they don't have the expertise to give me expert opinion on what I'm looking out for. So a Rakhi works in order to build awareness at times. I'm running this very casual, and also does a lot for the brand. And a Rakhi will work for people who are looking for expert opinion to see whether is this the right race for me? Am I prepped to run this race? Am I in the optimal physical health to run this race? Do I need a cardiac, test before I go and run a particular race and a high altitude race? So both of these are important, I believe, for every event. And every event also, they do exploit both of these, the opportunities that they get through the influencers. It is a little bit onus on the influencee to choose who am I listening to and why am I listening to them. Does that make sense? I mean, that's my 2 cents, because I worked in the area of social media for many years, and I've helped build brands and build their social media profile. So I feel like as an organizer and as as a racer, both can benefit, but there's an onus on both. If you're an organizer and you're choosing a pacer, why are you choosing this person as a pacer? Are we giving out the reasons that I choose him as a pacer just because he finishes it in 2 hours? No, he can, run the first half and then do like a negative split. That may not be ideal to everyone else. So if I'm a race organizer, I'm choosing a pacer, I should give out the reasons why am I choosing these pacers. What is the value that they're bringing to my runners? What is the experience that they're bringing to my runners, right? And if I'm choosing an influencer, I should see that, okay, do I want to be that race that's going to let you know how to run me, let you know how to have a great experience, or I'm going to be a race that just simply wants that everyone should know that I'm a race. There are a lot of beginners that actually fall in the trap of impulsive buying. A lot of beginner runners, because I did my first 10K, I'm so excited to do my 21. Chalo karte. I may not be trained, I may run, I may get injured, and I may never want to run it again, right? But this is where I think there's a lot of onus on both the influencer and influencee and race directors to put out content that is equally helpful and that is in a way, vanity and mostly also helpful. Vanity metrics are very, very important and we can't run away from it. I'm going to see that if this post has 200 likes, that means it's a good post. It must be a good post and I'm going to read it. That's how most of the people function on social media. If I wanted research base, I would go to, Google. So these are my 2 cents on, on Rakhi or Rakhi. I'm sure you will have a different opinion, which is also, comes from a lot of research and a lot of knowledge, and that'll be great to hear.
Thank you, Jen. So let me explain for those who didn't understand Rakhi or Rakhi. The first Rakhi, Rakhi, is Rakhi Sawant, and the second Rakhi, Rakhee, is Rakhi Gulzar. Okay. Now Rakhi Sawant, everybody knows. I don't have to give her this. But Rakhi Gulzar is somebody who's a character artist. Everybody knows, and she is the Indian heroine, actress who's got the maximum number of nominations for Filmfare, and has done stellar roles and all that. So the question is that whom do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that, like Jen just said, somebody with vanity metrics, or somebody with a industry leader's opinion, a spokesperson? So the question is that where do you see yourself? What do you want to be? I mean, it's everybody has a different approach in life, correct? There's nothing right or wrong. But the question is that you have to be in character, is what I would like to say. And if you're not in character, then you don't resonate with your audience. And if you don't resonate with your audience, then your audience just shrugs you off. And I mean, the feed is so long, and people are content creators. I mean, it looks like easy money, but let me tell you, they shit bricks after every posting. Every single post, they know, they have to look at the likes, they have to look at the interaction, they have to look at the algorithm, they have to look at so many things. They go crazy. I mean, they lose sleep over their post and all that. So it's not easy being an influencer and getting all that money. Okay. So that is what the question. Rakhi and Rakhi double E was in that context. Do you want to be a Rakhi Sawant, or do you want to be a Rakhi Gulzar? And I think Jen correctly summed it up. The Rakhi Sawant might bring brand awareness and do a lot for the brand by making a brand presence and all that, and will get that attention. But ultimately, sometimes you want to do a race that is like flippant, or a Bandra 10K or something like that. You're not applying your mind, and it might work for there. And sometimes you want to be very sure about that event, and whether that event is a good event, and then you want to go to somebody whose opinion matters to you. Okay. So thank you, Jen, for elucidating and giving an answer.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Venkata.
Hi, Tarun. Hi. Go ahead.
How are you?
Very fine. Thank you.
I thought that I'll just stay here and listen to most of the thoughts. But moment you elaborated on Rakhi and Rakhi, I thought that's a nice take, and perhaps most of us didn't get it in the first go. So I just thought I'll add my views to it. From your point, it's probably a valid question that whether you want to be Rakhi or Rakhi. But from runner's point, I think it's not really a binary situation we are looking at of Rakhi and Rakhi. The way I see the running community right now is going through a massive explosion. So in this whole churn out, there are a lot of Rakhis and so many other versions of this happening, and one of the important aspect here is not purely a runner dependent or an influencer dependent. It's a lot also event organizer dependent. So in one of our earlier interaction, I mentioned, and I can say that again. I remember when you were with the Procam, and I was chosen as a pacer for 2016 ADHM, and I remember how you went through the process of 2016 ADHM pacers. You had interviewed me, you made me fill a form and all that screening and all that. Being a pacer, I literally had to sit with 4 friends of mine, take their opinion if I should be the pacer, and what do I gain, and I was advised that it will be a big learning for you and all of that stuff. Whereas now, what is happening? You want to be a pacer because you want your limelight. You want an exposure. You want to be called on the stage, given a trophy and whatever and leverage it for XYZ. And the brands look at you to give them certain kind of exposure. So I think that Rakhi with double E is really lost right now. So the organizers also are becoming a version of single eye Rakhi, and the runners unfortunately are very willingly want to be the single eye Rakhi, because everybody is looking at, okay, let me be loud, let me be seen around, and what I bring on the table is not so much important. There was a time when, as an influencer, you would be called upon if you had some credentials to talk about and something that other runners could look up to for. But today they look at, okay, how many posts are you gonna do? How many reels are you gonna do? Are you going to hang yourself upside down and do a reel? Or are you going to stand on your hands and do a reel? Or are you going to jump left and right, do a reel? So these qualities make you an influencer or a pacer now. So I think it's a whole lot of two-way pull. So somewhere the Rakhi with double E is really lost right now, and till the time the organizers also start putting a value to that we want somebody with those values to come forward, and until the time the runners also put a value to that okay, I don't want to be a single eye, I want to be double E. So I think right now is a huge churn out time, so which hopefully will settle in soon and we'll get more of double E's. That's my
Thank
thought,
you.
sir.
I mean, again, there's nothing right or wrong, Tarun. There's nothing like, one or the other, and to each his own. But
Hi.
the thing is that whom do you want to be? That's the question. Praveen, you want to say something? Come in, Praveen.
Hi. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my massage in local train now, as usual. So I'm here in the local train, and like personally, if you ask me like which Rakhi, okay. So I will apply the same formula which I apply for running, like 80-20, or maybe we can say math principle, right? So wherein like 80% times I run in aerobic zone and 20% anaerobic. So I would like to become, 80% second one Iraqi and 20% first one, right? So this is how I would like to choose it from.
Good. Good for you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the call, even though you're in the train. Hey, we got Sandeep pushing his hands up. Sandeep Joshi from Nagar. Go ahead.
Hello, Venkat sir. How are you? After a long time.
Very fine, Sandeep. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Good evening. So actually, as you said correctly, there is nothing right and wrong. And every coin has a two side. Every good runner want good pacer, quality pacer to be there in the every event. But at the same time, organizer needs the people who are really influencer or who have control on social media, because these days event expenses are also go up, and they need to cover the expenses. And the cities like tier 3 cities, they won't get sponsors. They're not able to cover the expenses of the event also. So they need more and more runners to participate in that marathon. That's why they choose the people who are like Rakhi, Sawan. ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए उन्हीं लोगों को पेसर बनाया जाता है जो इन्फ्लुएंसर है. बट इन रियलिटी गुड रनर रिक्वायर्ड गुड पेसर्स. तो इसमें दोनों तरफ से है. As an organizer, they need social media influencer, and as a runner, we need good pacer.
Correct. I agree with you. You're right. I mean, and both have their roles to play. Okay, I'm not saying that one is good or one is bad. I'm just saying that there are two different aspects of the situation, and even organizers and runners have to choose what is appropriate for that situation. Thank you,
I think
Sandeep.
Anil is trying to say
1 minute,
something.
Shilpa, 1
Anil.
minute. Sandeep, do you have anything more to add?
No, I'm
Thank you.
doing. Yeah,
Thank you. Anil, you want to say something? Anil, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Venkat sir. Hi, good evening
Hi,
everyone.
hi.
Yeah, am I audible clear?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. I have a poor network. I'm in Himachal right now. And
No problem.
okay, I think I agree with somewhat with Tarun and Praveen what they say. Today's influence, today's pacer, taking the topic of the pacer, are the people who try and get maximum number of registration for their event.
Hmm.
Okay, irrespective. Suppose, for example, if a pacer is for a 10K for 80 minutes, he will finish it in 75 minutes, 500 meters away from the finish line, and wait for 5 minutes there. Okay, so those are not actual pacers. So they are, because they are getting maximum number of registration. That's why they are made pacers. Technically, if you go and observe them, the individual breakup from whether how much at what time they cross the 5K or what time they cross the 8K and then what time they actually reach the 10K, you will actually get to know whether the pacer has done a good job or is just being a pacer.
I agree with you. We know, being in the industry, I know of one, Praveen, 1 minute. I know of one influencer who was an pacer or brand ambassador or whatever for one event. But on the day of the event, that person was running in another part of the city with friends. And when somebody told him, "Arey, today is supposed to be your event," that person had forgotten. Yaar, main bhul gaya, I was supposed to go there.
Oh my God.
So even
That's
this has
too much.
happened. People have just taken photographs, made a creative, given to that person, dal de, and forgotten about him.
No, because I know I was a pacer for one of the event which Shashi has organized. It was so technically made. Each pacer was required to fill up the form, give a breakup at what point, how much whether they are running a positive split or negative split, or how they are going to manage that. You have to actually fill up the form and all that, and actually follow. And post run, they will actually analyze whether we have followed uh, the actual details what we have given in the pacing
We should do
chart.
that for all the program events.
Yes.
And we even now do that for the events that we conduct. So we do the thing, we call people, we evaluate them, and then after we give them a briefing, complete briefing we conduct for them on pacing. And after that we do a reevaluation and we tell them, we don't publish it publicly because there's no point shaming somebody, but we definitely do it afterwards and we tell them whether they did it correctly or not. So in our events, the pacers come and really learn how to pace and all that. And of course, they go and see other events and they become good pacers, which is good for the sport. Thank you, Anil.
I recollect. Yes, sir. So I recollect a couple of years back. I don't want to name, but I'll just say the guru. Everyone knows who's the guru. Is to do the analysis of all the pacers and put it on the social media.
Yes, of course. It is a very time-consuming thing, and it is very difficult to keep doing that all the time.
Agree.
मैं अनिल सर से बहुत सहमत हूँ। बहुत सारे पेशर्स जो होते हैं सर, बस पेशिंग का जॉब तो ले लेते हैं, लेकिन वो अपना स्पेस जो होता है, जिसकी अनिल सर ने बात की, उस पर ध्यान नहीं रखते। जस्ट वो अपना टाइम पे पहुंचने की कोशिश करते हैं, बल्कि उनका स्प्लिट का डिटेल होना चाहिए। क्योंकि जब मैं स्टार्ट किया था रनिंग और बड़े बड़े इवेंट में गया था, तो पेसर्स का बैनर देख के मैं ये अंदाज लगाता था कि मैं हूं कहाँ। कभी कभी मान लीजिए कि कोई 2:10 पे करा रहा है और कोई 2:30 वाला है, उसके बीच में हो, या 2:30 वाला भी मेरे बगल से गुजरने लगा, तो मुझे लगता है कि चलो थोड़ा और पुश करें। लेकिन आज के पेसर्स को देख के ऐसा नहीं होता। उनके स्प्लिट्स में बहुत ही मतलब समानता नहीं रहती। उनको एक पेस मेंटेन करना चाहिए, क्योंकि पेसर्स का मतलब होता है जो बिना वॉच के रनर दौड़ रहे हैं, वो अंदाज नहीं लगा पाते। क्योंकि वो लोग पहले बहुत स्पीड से दौड़ते हैं, फिर बाद में अपने आप को स्लो कर लेते हैं कि चलो अब मेरा टाइम पे मैं पहुंच गया। तो ये तो आज के पेसेस में बहुत फर्क मिलता है। जब मैं शुरुआत किया था तो ऐसा नहीं था, लेकिन आजकल बहुत ज्यादा देखता हूँ। तो ये अनिल सर की बात से मैं सहमत हूँ कि आजकल, और ना ही वो पेसर्स अपनी प्लानिंग डालते हो, क्योंकि आप प्लान भी तो डालो कि क्या है नहीं है, किस पे आप 5 के कितने देर में पहुंचोगे, 8 के कितने देर में पहुंचोगे। और वो टाइम अगर पहले से पड़ा रहता है तो जो मुझे फॉलो कर रहा है या जो रनर फॉलो कर रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली वो अपने आप को फाइंड तो कर सकते हैं कि मैं अभी किस जगह पे हूँ। पर आज की डेट में वैसा नहीं है।
बराबर है। थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू अमृत। Jen, you put your hand up. Jen, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I just wanted to actually thank you for this topic, because it's such an important topic, and I know where it's coming from. Since it's coming from you, it's coming from a lot of years of experience. And why do you think this is an important topic? And the only thing I wanted to add before I check out is that we have the Rakhi and Rakhies, and I think you would also agree there's a gray area where influencers start thinking that they're experts without the right credentials, right? And they start giving advice, half-baked advice, or wrong advice, or advice just based on their experience. And I'm sure you will, and everyone else will agree that half-baked knowledge is actually more scarier than someone just saying, "Come run this," So it's very important, I think, and Venkat sir can tell the entire group how you should actually up your knowledge and up your creds before you actually become. It takes a lot to be a Rakhi with the EE. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of awareness and mindfulness that what you're actually saying could impact someone if they follow you positively or negatively. So I think influencers who are in that league should be slightly more mindful of what information they're putting out. That's all. Thanks.
I agree with you. I
What do
agree
you
with you,
think?
Jen. And that is why there are all these regulations coming in. The recent regulation is that if you're endorsing any nutraceutical, you should have a qualification, because anybody is going and promoting anything. If there was a study made by somebody of some 50 Instagram fitness, professionals, and this person went to each one of them and asked their fees and asked them and gave them this, and this guy was an expert personal trainer himself, and he's made that study. It's an international study, and each one of them was just giving absolute bullshit knowledge, and they were making money out of it. So that is not at all desirable, and that is a very, very bad thing. Even this aspect of pacers, Amrita or Anil or you saying about pacers not doing correctly, because ultimately it doesn't reflect on the individual, it also reflects on the organizer. Ultimately the brand perception and the value of the event depends upon all the experience, and the pacer is a very, very important part of that experience, especially if we're going to run with a pacer. And if that is not done correctly, then it definitely does dilute the brand perception of the event. We have got, thank you very much, Jen. We have got Kameshwar, you saying it also about taking efforts to convey on a personal level, talking personally or chatting apart from creating shared, being available to clear the doubts and concerns of the runners and not just post our creative and leave it at that. I agree with you, Kameshwari. There has to be a sense of ownership with the event. I stopped being a pacer. I stopped being an influencer. I stopped being a brand ambassador for almost all products, unless only if I taste something and I like it, I put it, and not as a commercial kind of thing. But people have to take responsibility for what they are and who they are, and they cannot take their audience lightly. What is happening is that most of these influencers are coming up, and they are taking their audience lightly. They're not respecting the audience. They think that they can take them for granted, and people have no, there's just this, and they keep following, and then the quality of interaction, the quality of engagement is dropping, because influencers are not being responsible, pacers are not being responsible, is my view. Okay, and which you're concerned. Thank you, Amit, about mentioning the Navy Marathon. You also mentioned about the NEB. Yeah, good examples both. Amit says pacing assignments are to be taken seriously. Sometime back, Puru had shared a data. Few paces in the firing line must have found out too hard, but that is a fact. One has a very critical illness. I think it is. I agree. Puru, you should do yeoman service to the running sport. You should do only one event, but in that event, what lessons you drew, hopefully in many other events, many other paces drew lessons, and hopefully the ecosystem improved because of the post that he did. Yes, if some pacers did not meet his criteria, they felt bad about it. And Puru said that, listen, I'm just presenting the facts. I'm just a messenger. I am not the person who ran. I'm just showing you that this. In fact, in the year in which he ran as a tour pacer, he himself got delayed by a minute or so. So he was critical about himself. So hats off to him for doing that. And yes, pacing assignments have to be taken seriously. And unfortunately, Sandeep has made a point that in tier 3 cities, you got to take anybody who has a reach because you need the numbers. And that is a compelling argument because you have managed an event, you have taken on a risk of a certain fixed spend. No matter what, you have to spend that money. And if registration don't come in, then you are in a very difficult situation. And yes, you will try every trick in the book to get the registrations. This this session was aimed at helping people like Sandeep, helping event organizers to understand it a bit better and to do it a little bit with a little bit of understanding, some measurement, some backend, some technology, to see who's working, who's not working, who's doing the work, who's not doing the work, rather than just making 50 creatives and दे दिया और जिसका होता है नहीं होता है kind of approach. So we at YouTooCanRun, we are just trying to put some method to measure it. And there is a management saying that if you don't measure, then you can't manage. So the idea is to measure it and manage it better. And that was the tools that we put. And we make it possible. Yes, Sandeep, your hand is up again.
Yes. नहीं एक्चुअली मेरे इवेंट में तो मैं बहुत क्रिटिकली उनको थरोली ये करता हूँ, स्कैन करता हूँ.
Yes, of course I know it.
Those who are comrade runner, they can only run as a pacer in my event. और मैं तो खुद पर्सनली अभी एज अ पेसर और एम्बेसडर जाना बहुत कम कर दिया है. अगर कमर्शियल इवेंट है, इवेंट का अगर कोई पर्पस नहीं है, नोबल कॉज नहीं, तो आई डोंट पार्टिसिपेट इन दैट इवेंट. और नगर में तो स्पेसिफिकली जो रनर सीनियर रनर है को हम लोग ये करते हैं पेसर का.
करेक्ट. So Mike has commented on Facebook talking about paces. I see at many events paces running alone and no one following them. A pacer should be the ones who coax runners to follow them. Mike, I mean, it all depends upon the density of the event, how many runners can maintain the pace, whether there was a interaction between the pacer and the runners, whether runners agree to run with him. So it's a combination of many things, and many a time pacers are running alone, but they're still doing a very important job because I mean, I may be 10 feet away, but I know that this guy is going to do it in a certain time and I need to keep up with him. So whether people are running abreast of him or behind aage piche, the pacer is still doing a job that is expected to do. Thanks, Mike, for the comment. So if there are Anirudh has come, even if appointment paces have certain compulsions, it is up to the organization to train the paces properly and make it clear. Yes, of course. I mean, whatever may be the reason why you appointed him as a pacer, ultimately on that day he has to deliver, and you can't, not brief the pacer, make them cognizant of their job, and then this. I know one event, we were standing there and we were watching it. We were not doing the race management. Somebody had taken it upon himself to organize the paces, and the event organizer had left it to that person. And the pacer came 10 minutes after the race started. And they didn't know how to wear the jacket, they didn't know how to do the flag, and they said, Abhi kya karne ka? I mean, the person has got a pacing, he's got a kit, and he's got a this, and he's asking the person who bought him, Abhi kya karne ka? And I'm standing there and I'm observing all this, and I said, होता है ऐसा भी रनिंग में, क्या करेगा? Kind of thing. Yes, I agree with you that many event organizers do not brief and conduct the event properly. Pramila, in my opinion, all event ambassador influence must give minimum 20 reasons for the event, and brand ambassador influence or key opinion should have good knowledge about the product they endorse. They should not repeat the words of the manufacturer or the buyers. I agree with you. One is, of course, I don't know whether we can put a rule कि 20 लेके आना मांगता है. It's not like a sales target or a sales commission कि पैसा है तो you have to get. Whether the brand ambassador or influencer should have a sales quota is doubtful in my mind, but definitely everybody should know about the product. People should know what they are talking about. People should know what they are endorsing. Whenever we do brand engagement for brands, we ensure that that the influencers and the pacers and the influencers get complete knowledge about the product before they start talking about it, because people ask them, they think that this guy knows everything, so that guy must know everything about the product or the event, whatever it is. Okay. Thank you. Just for the sake of free goodies, one should not take these assignments which I have seen in Calcutta. In Calcutta, नहीं, all over the country it is happening. फुकट में मिल रहा है ना तो ले लो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Who is obligated to anything? That is the thing. Amit Yadav, another point is I want to emphasize route mapping. Hats off to YouTooCanRun. They have always been spot on. Many event organizers have made a mockery of PBs as the decision measured was inaccurate. This is unfortunate. Many people use Garmin and do the route, and then records are broken, and everybody writes PBs. And when everybody writes PBs, we know that something is wrong. This route is short. Suddenly, सबको PB नहीं आ सकता, especially if it was a hot and humid day on that day, kind of thing. I agree with you. In a certain event that happened a couple of years back, we found that everybody was everybody got a PB. Okay, and ultimately, when we did some investigation, we found out that in one place there was supposed to be some 400 meters. It was like what we call as a hockey stick. That is, you go in, make a U-turn, and you come back straight. We call that a hockey stick in a running route. So, like, you have to go in and come, make a U-turn and come back. So the volunteers that said, छोड़ो ना, अंदर किसको भेजे का नहीं है, सीधा जाने दो सब जन. So everybody went सीधा, and then they were short. They ran short by 400 meters, and everybody got a PB. Okay, but nobody says Garmin may come distance aaya, because it was a name certified route, and the Amir had measured it correctly, but the event volunteers had taken the decision, छोड़ो ना अंदर जाके क्यों आने का, जाने दो सब सीधा. They didn't understand the importance. Okay, so yes, sometimes it's a mockery because people on the ground have taken that decision. Very true. Even volunteers don't know the route. I agree with you. Many volunteers don't know the route and they take decisions. There have been cases where the lead vehicle has gone on the wrong route. I mean, huge amount of situations like that. In this Bajaru world, human beings don't take time to become a product and service while consuming them. The same is true for influencers and pacers. Exactly. They are the product and they are this. Thank you, Son. I agree with Amit's comment. Thank you very much. So we are now at 8:10. I would like to close because we don't want to go more than 1 hour. If anybody has anything, please put up your hands, and you can either chat here or you can, speak on voice. Go ahead, Anil.
Yeah, the last one as a joke. Last year in BKC, there was an event, a big event, I would say. Female was the pacer for 2:45 for half marathon. But she herself got into that because of some contact, and she was not confident to do that. So she had an unofficial pacer to pace her rather. So this is what is happening.
We lost you.
Sorry?
We lost you.
Lost me? Okay. Okay, no. What I was saying is, that female was a pacer for 2:45 for half a marathon. Okay, she got into pacing as a pacer, maybe because of some contact or something, but she was not confident whether I'll be able to do that in 2:45. So she herself was required another pacer, unofficial pacer running with her. You know her. I will not name.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I know, I know.
Hmm.
It happens. What to do? Just to keep that, like everybody says that, okay, influencer and give an impact on the social media. Okay, I was a pacer and I crossed with athlete. Anyway,
Which means the pacer required a personal pacer, right?
yes, yes.
Okay,
So
there are some more
this is
comments before I this. Yeah,
this is
Suvana, thank you very much.
just
You can
wanted to
definitely
add
take a
something.
leave. Manor has a question. If an individual is a brand ambassador of a certain shoe brand, he is offered to be brand ambassador of an event which is a competing brand. Whose fault is it, the person offering or the person accepting the conflict of interest? So the rule of running a sport as a running is that the shoe is not an event property, it is an athlete's property. Okay, this is the rule. What this means is that every runner can wear whatever shoe he wants, because the shoe is critical to the performance of the athlete. Okay, whether it's a pacer or a brand ambassador or anybody. Okay, so it does not matter what brand ambassador he is and what the event has got is a competing brand, but the shoe that is worn by the athlete can be worn according to his or her choice, and that footwear is not part of the event property, which means that the person may wear whatever shoe he wants, but he will have to wear the t-shirt or the short or the cap or whatever else it is of the brand that is sponsoring the event. There he cannot make a mistake. But if whoever they can accept. There's nothing wrong in accepting, as long as he does not have a exclusivity with the brand for which he is the shoe brand, is the shoe brand partner. So that would depend upon the contract between the two. So that is the rule here, Manohar. One point to note, brand ambassadors keep changing brands. For example, if Saucony gives the year 2 shoes and Nike gives 3 shoes in brand ambassador, they should start shuffle to best giver. I really can't say anything about this. Is there anything like ethics? Is there anything like this? Can people change? Can people change jobs? People change jobs more faster than they change underwear sometimes, but that is every individual and every brand to take. There's a question from Uttam Singh on YouTube. Is there a way to ask the organizers to ask for a feedback post race from all the runners who participated? It would help both the runners and organizers. There is no way to ask organizers. Organizers should desire feedback, and they should say that yes, we require feedback. As part of YouTooCanRun services, we provide a post-race survey. Okay, and now we are integrating that, and we are helping MRR build a more post-race survey platform. The idea being that the more feedback we get from the community, the better events will come out, and the poorer events will of course die. We are trying to build that process. We cannot ask event organizers, where is your survey form, but we provide it, whether the event organizer wants it or not. But the other question is that every person who's getting that form must also take the trouble of answering. It's a community service that is doing. If MRR and Manohar is here, MRR puts out these forms. How many people take the trouble to fill up the form and give a honest opinion? Okay, everybody must. It doesn't matter whether event organizer is doing, MRR is doing, YouTooCanRun is doing, whichever platform is there. They must give an honest opinion. It was a good event, they must write it as a good event. If it was a bad event, they must write it was a bad event. But they must contribute in their small way to improve the sport of running, encourage good events, and discourage bad organizers from continuing to be bad in their organization. Okay, thank you. So that was the issue there. Thank you, Uttam. Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you, Amit. I think I'll close now. Let me just see if there are any more questions. There is none. Okay. So thank you, everybody, and have a nice evening. What we do is that
Thank you.
after the event, we do show notes. Okay. Show notes are notes that explain about each event and about this and different people asking, and that is posted on social media along with timestamps. So if somebody wants, it's like an index. So if somebody says, when did say somebody asked this question, then that timestamp is there. They can jump directly to that part of the video. So that is what we do. My recommendation is that encourage people to see this video. It's for the good of the community. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.